wondered why your first choice in thinking about globalization and regime stability was to focus on the inequality link as opposed to like capital mobility. So both in Asimov, Robinson, and Boyce, to at least worry less about how much redistribution is going to take place if there's lots of capital mobility. And so, you know, one possibility is that in thinking about openness and its effect on regime change, you know, that's really the most important link. And I wonder, one, whether, you know, why you think the inequality link is the first place to start, and secondly, whether this alternative way in which globalization might influence regime change is, you know, possibly not accounted for in your empirical.
One of the so very quick answer because.
1 second. So I'm gonna just let the discussion go on while Roger.
Sure. Yeah. I don't need these slides anymore.
So
yeah. So I have to confess, one of the reasons is that after looking at this result, I wanted to go deeper into the data and try and find out what's the nature of the inequality, etc., and which countries have increased their openness, increased their inequality. Inequality is not directly measured over here. I mean, you don't require it in this particular model, but most of these countries are in the fragile democracies. These are not they don't have the institutions for redistribution, and that's why I was attracted to the Roderick JPE. You know, why governments of open economies are big. The reason is that they perform an insurance function, and openness increases the variability of earnings, and trying to push a policy conclusion like that, which is what I think one of the messages from this finding is, requires me to go into that inequality link. If you go into the footloose capital, the policies are completely entirely different. But that's a valid explanation for this result, and we'll pay it some due.
You're focused on inequality causing regime change, but inequality is just a measure of how far the top is from the bottom. So you can have inequality because an increase in inequality because the bottom falls and the top rises or whatever. But what about the case where inequality rises with the bottom rising but the top rising even faster?
Yeah, that's the.
Does that lead to
yes.
Political instability?
Yes. Yes, I mean, you know, the growth lifts all boats is your story, but growth in this globalized world causes that kind of inequality. So India is a case in point, China is a case in point.
But why should it matter to me if I am better off than I was yesterday? Why should I become politically more in this country? If I'm at the bottom, but I'm better off today than I was last year.
Because if you want to go into a theory, you can straight think about a median voter theorem, and it'll produce the result that the median voter wants more redistribution. That's the Acemoglu-Robinson story. You go to the median voter model, they want greater redistribution, and the median voter is voting. The median voter is fulcrum, and they vote for greater redistribution. You're asking the right question in the sense that if I am richer, why should I not vote the government back in again? If I'm richer and there's redistribution, that's the median voter idea, then I will vote the government back into power, or I'll vote that government into power which guarantees bigger redistribution than the other one. There is political competition in the background over here.
I understand that the median voter always wants redistribution, whether he's poor or whether he's rich. But your story seems to suggest that with openness and inequality increasing, that the political pressure for regime change increases. And that's what I'm grappling with.
Well, you can grow richer, or you need not grow richer. The story is about inequality and redistribution. That's basically what it is. If the median voter is you know, you have a distribution, a very unequal distribution of income. The median voter is going to vote for greater redistribution. That's very simply the story. And